The fact that Daisy isn't even a unit yet can really throw players for a loop. Like, who is Daisy? What does Daisy do? Will we ever get Daisy as a single unit? And when can I see a Neo-Vision duo of Beachside Lasso and Nicole? Jokes aside, let's get into it. Summer Fina and Daisy's Trustmaster reward is a materia that boosts your unit's spirit and HP by 40%, their MP by 30%, and grant an additional 40% resistance to water attacks. This is an excellent Trustmaster reward for magic tanks, but as it is on a Neo-Vision unit, good luck getting it. Their Super Trustmaster reward is a hat that boosts your unit's spirit by a significant amount, their water resistance by 50%, their HP by 30%, and grants a Guts buff. As you might expect, it's an amazing Super Trustmaster reward for magic tanks, though it could certainly be thrown onto anyone else who wants that spirit stat boost too. Onto their active abilities. Rip Current is a magic cover brave ability. Leveling it up will increase the damage reduction. Sonar Healing is a team-wide heal. Splash Fight gives Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy a 75% general mitigation buff, a provoke buff, and reduces any magic damage they take from aquatic and dragon monsters by 20%. Lagoon Shell is a cooldown ability that grants a team-wide 75% magic mitigation buff and boosts their water, earth, light, and dark resistance by 100% for 3 turns. Dirtied's Kiss will cast a re-raise and a 80% magic mitigation buff on their team. Sexy Girl Summer probably won't inflict charm, but it'll boost Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy's spirit by 250% and grant a 50% general mitigation buff. Healing Ripples will grant your team an MP regen and fill their limit burst gauges by a great amount. Extra Special Sun Bath will let your team deal light damage and boost their attack, magic, defense, and spirit by 180%. Breath of the Waves is a raise. Deep Sea Sorcery is a brave ability that can grant up to 90% elemental resistance against lightning, water, wind, and light attacks, and Coastal Combination chains with Stardust Ray. Marine Wall is a Grandis ability that can be used twice. It grants your team an HP barrier and resistance to spirit breaks. Onto her passives. She has some water, light, and dark resistance already built in. She also has some passive provoke, and with her Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equipped, she'll get a Guts buff. Finally, Beauties Among the Waves is an important passive ability that automatically activates a magic cover. Sure, it might seem strange, as you can just activate one manually, but there are times when you just can't do that. Like, say, if you're so incompetent that your tank somehow died. Once your unit's been revived, you'll generally have to wait a turn to activate their cover ability, which means you're going to have to spend a turn without a unit that would soak up the majority of the enemy's attacks. More often than not, that'll lead to a game over, and then you'll probably wallow in self-pity for a while. But with Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy, you won't have to worry about that, as they'll automatically activate a magic cover to soak up the damage. Sure, they'll probably just die again if you don't change anything, but you can always bring them back from the grave and watch them die again. So yeah, triple S tier. Let's take a look at their Limit Burst. It can boost your team's light resistance by 100%, boost their light damage by 25%, and grant a 50% general mitigation buff. Now to watch Fina jump on a dolphin. Their Brave Shift is available right from the get-go and does not have a turn duration. It does, however, have a short cooldown, so you can't just switch back and forth as you please. Anyways, active abilities. She keeps the magic cover, provoke buff, team heal, and the rest of her cooldown abilities. Water Spear Shot is a 75% full break. Beach Flags will inflict a 100% earth imperil and let your team deal earth damage. Heated Beach Volleyball is a brave ability that can grant up to 90% fire, ice, earth, and dark elemental resistance. If you combine it with the buffs from her regular form, you may have a 90% full coverage boost to all elemental resistances. Midsummer Radiance Chains of Stardust Ray. Solar Veil is a Grandis ability that can be used once. It'll grant an 80% physical mitigation buff for your team and turn Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy into a physical tank. Let's take a look at their passives. She has some fire, water, and earth elemental resistance already built in. Everything else is more or less the same, so feel free to build her however you'd like. Finally, her Limit Burst. This one's a magic attack that deals physical damage based off her spirit stat. It can boost your team's earth damage by 25% and grants a 50% general mitigation buff. Which brave ability should you raise? I recommend you prioritize all of them. They're all excellent abilities that will really boost Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy's viability as a unit. All in all, Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy is one of the best, if not the best, magic tank in the game. Part of her outstanding capabilities involve her other support abilities, something that propelled Paladin Ciso to the top of the 7-star magic tank tier list. Now, if you compare the two directly, you'll find that Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy practically upstages Paladin Ciso in most regards. Though one important factor that Paladin Ciso can boast is a triple cast, alongside an immediate Limit Burst. Still, even with this competition in mind, it opens up a lot of possible advantages, such as using the two together. Granted, this mostly accomplishes getting the important buffs out quickly, as Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy's buffs provide greater benefits in the end. Even so, as the two chain with Stardust Ray, you can use them to safely pave the way for your finisher, one of many possible strategies in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Regardless, I definitely plan to pull for Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy, and with a 40,000 Lapis safety net, there's no time like the present to get a powerful magic tank. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you plan to get Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy, or if you plan to save for some other upcoming banner.